Hey Spencer, so I wanted to get something to you in addition to obviously the text that I sent you. I think that's a great program. It's a fun way to just to kind of keep it simple while you're away. You can always add some core work as an active recovery in there as well. And then anything else that kind of applies. One of the things that I was thinking about too, and actually I just thought about it now. I thought about it earlier, and it just came back to mind. Is getting a TRX. You asked like what other additional bells or something like that. A suspension trainer would be a good thing. I mean, you can easily attach it to like a beam, a banister, or you could even there's a little attachment you can hang it on a door frame. So this is a good way to get some back work in. A lot of times, unless you're pull-ups or anything like that, unless you have like a cable machine, it's really difficult to get a lot of back work. Lats, upper shoulders, things like that, back of the shoulder. TRX is great for that, and you can find the best place to get them is on eBay because a lot of times they're ridiculously expensive considering really what the material is. But if you can, a lot of times you can find them on eBay. But let me know if you do, and if you need a link or anything like that, I can send it to you as well. I can send you a specific workout even geared towards that. We can even create a kettlebell program with the TRX. But what I wanted to throw your way also, and I can text this to you as well, with two things, right? Two little additional programs. Number one, I like to cycle through as a bit of more cardiovascular or anaerobic conditioning. I like to cycle through all my baseline lifts and all my baseline ballistic lifts. And so what I mean by that is, I just got done actually doing this. I'll do, and I don't want to necessarily set a time frame for you because I think it's important to let your breathing normalize in between each set. But what I'll do is I'll set a timer, and I'll do I'll start off every minute on the minute. I'll start off with I'll go 10 swings on one arm, let it rest. 10 swings on the other arm, let it rest. Then I'll do 5 snatches on one arm, rest for the remainder of the minute. 5 snatches on the other arm, rest for the remainder of the minute. Then I'll do double cleans, I'll do double push presses, and I'll also do double jerks. But I'll cycle through these lifts. I know for you, right now you have a 50 and a 20 kilo bell. The 50 is probably great for your single arm swings, but for your push presses, you're using a 20 kilo bell, which is 44 pounds. And for your snatches, you're using an 18 kilo bell, which is 40 pounds. So what you may want to do is consider getting a 40, and maybe even a 30 and a 40, and we can even extend your programming. And then what you can do is you can just cycle through single arm on each side. Again, I'm a firm believer in letting your breathing normalize. A lot of people will just push it, and they think it's best to just kind of push that rest period. I don't think that's a wise idea unless you're training for something specific. And what I mean by that is kind of doing your classic intervals like Tabatas, or you'll see a lot of people online, they'll do 30 to 40 seconds on, and maybe 30 to 40 seconds of recovery, or 20 to 30 seconds of recovery. I used to do a lot of stuff like that. I don't anymore. I think it just kind of trashes your endocrine system. I think it can be worthwhile if you're training for something specific. So if you're gonna do wrestle or do a jiu-jitsu competition or something like that, then kind of pushing yourself right at the end, right prior to the competition, a couple weeks out, makes sense because you're going to be pushed into those states when you're in competition. But for normal everyday training, I don't think it's a wise idea to push to that level, at least not all the time. So allowing your breathing to recover is really important. Now, but just kind of, let me know if you choose to get some additional bells, again, like a 30 and a 40. And then we can look at, again, way I like to cycle through, right? Single arm swings, right? I like to do 10 of those guys, and then I'll, 10 on one side, rest and recover, either until your breathing normalizes or until the top of the next minute, right? Doing a 10 on the other side, all right? Then for you again, snatching. Like I said, you're using a 40 pounder, right now for your snatches, but and I'll do 5 each side, or I'll do 5 and then rest for the remainder of the minute. And then then again, rest for the remainder of the minute. Then you can do cleans. Right now for your cleans, I forget, I think we didn't work those so much as a ballistic lift as much as we did just as a transition piece to like your presses and things, but you can always do, again, I'll do 5 cleans. Cleans are a little bit faster. You can always do gunslingers, right, in lieu of the clean. Because they're quicker, you may choose to do like 7 or 10 at the top of the minute. And then let's see, what are we doing? Oh, a push press. I don't remember if we've done any jerks, but like a push press is this guy, right? Now, I don't know if we've done any jerks, but a jerk just adds a little bit. If you want to, you can play with this, especially if you get like a 30, right, work yourself up. But a jerk is a push press that just adds another dip to it. So it's going to be, you catch it in this dip overhead. Dip, drive, dip, catch. Dip, drive, dip, catch. So, and again, man, I'm a little out of breath just doing it right now. It's a fun way you can cycle through your lifts. If you choose to do that, we probably want you to get at least a 40, maybe even a 30 and a 40. You know, again, be probably cool to have 20, 30, 40, 50 for you. It'll be pretty awesome. You can do a lot of stuff with that. So, again, man, you can always, just to recap on this, you can always do every minute of a minute. Again, limit that though to where you want to limit the amount of repetitions you choose to do to the amount that you can recover before the top of that next minute. I find for me, that's about 10 swings on one side. You know, 5 snatches on one side, 5 cleans on one side. Now, I could push it, I could do more, but I don't necessarily want to. If I'm training for something specific, yeah, go for it. But just generally speaking, all you want to do, like run in a sprint, get out of breath, allow yourself to recover. Get out of breath, allow yourself to recover. Hey, listen, man, I hope this is helpful. I'm going to follow this up with one other video where another option, again, a little bit more cardiovascular or anaerobic, I'm going to teach you a new lift. All right, man. Hey, listen, I hope you're doing well, and I'll talk to you soon.